child's pose by sitting your hips back onto your heels, relaxing your torso over your thighs, and bringing your arms out stretched in front of you. Just begin to deepen your breath, begin to center yourself, and just quiet your mind and come inside your body. You can use your breath to assist you in releasing any tight areas in your muscles right now. So if you're feeling particularly tight in your hips, in your hamstrings, in your back, send your breath to that space and use your exhales to release the tension, release the muscle fibers, and just continue to breathe in that way. Take one more exhale here, and on your inhale, come up to a hands and knees position, bringing your knees directly under your hips and your hands directly under your shoulders. Coming into some cat and cows, take an inhale, look up and forward, arching your back and tucking your toes. On your next exhale, curving your spine in the opposite direction, untucking your toes, and look back towards your thighs. Continue with this pattern, coordinating with your breath. On each inhale, arch your back, look up and forward, and on each exhale, curve in the opposite direction, looking back towards your thighs. Take one final exhale in this position and then come back to a neutral spine. Tuck your toes and lift your hips up into an opening downward facing dog. And here, just begin to pedal through your legs, alternating bending and straightening. As you do this, be sure to send your breath to the backs of your legs and gently press your heel down every time you straighten your leg. Now you can come and settle into stillness into your downward facing dog. Take a few deep and full breaths here. You can maintain a micro bend in your knees if needed, and raise your heels all the way up, bend your knees all the way, look forward, and step or jump your feet up to the front of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Relax here for a moment, and on your next inhale, bring your hands to your shins and look up halfway, straightening your spine. Exhale, fold back over your legs. Take a deep inhale and come up to standing with a straight spine, bringing your arms out and up, and then bring your hands to meet your sides and stand up nice and tall into Tadasana. Inhale, rotate your arms out and raise them up above your head. Exhale, slowly fold your torso back over your legs into a forward fold. Inhale, look up halfway, straightening your spine, and exhale, bend your knees and step back into a plank. Come through to your Chaturanga Dandasana and then drop down to the ground and come to lying on your belly to press up into a full Cobra Pose or Bhujangasana. Slowly bring your torso back down onto the floor, tuck your toes, and press up into a downward facing dog. Take a few deep and full breaths in your down dog. Feel your shoulder blades coming into your back and feel your heels slowly descending down towards the floor. Raise your heels all the way up, bend your knees, look forward, and step or jump your feet up into a forward fold. Inhale, look up halfway, and exhale, come back into Uttanasana. Take another inhale and slowly come up to standing with a straight spine. Bring your arms out and up, and then bring them down by your sides. Inhale, bring your arms back up, looking up. Exhale, fold your torso over into Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant your hands down and step back into a plank, moving through Chaturanga Dandasana, and this time you can come into full Cobra one more time, or you have the option of coming into upward facing dog. Take another inhale and come up into downward facing dog. Take a moment in your down dog, and you can have a slight bend in your knees again if needed. Make sure you feel your shoulder blades coming into your back. The backs of your legs are stretching. Take one more inhale and raise your heels all the way up. Bend your knees, look forward, and step or jump your feet up to the front of your mat into a forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, come up to standing. Raise your arms all the way up. and then bring them down by your sides. Take a deep inhale and exhale here into Tadasana, and on your next inhale, raise your arms all the way up, and then slowly fold your torso over your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant your hands down and step back into a plank, moving through your Chaturanga Dandasana, coming into upward facing dog, and then coming straight into your downward facing dog. Take one more inhale here and raise your heels all the way up, bend your knees, look forward, and step or jump your feet up into a forward fold. Take an inhale, look up halfway, and exhale, fold back down into Uttanasana. Inhale, come up to standing with a straight spine, bringing your arms up, and then slowly release your hands down by your sides. Stand into Tadasana and come back to your breath. On your next inhale, sit back into Utkatasana or chair pose, sitting your hips all the way back, reaching your hands up and forward. Keeping your legs where they are, just bend your torso down and come into a forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, bend your knees and plant your hands down, step back into a plank and move through your Chaturanga Dandasana, upward facing dog, and then right into your downward facing dog on your exhale. On your next natural inhale, raise your right heel behind you, lifting your leg, and step your leg forward between your hands and drop your left knee down behind you, coming into a low lunge. Untuck your left toe and lift your torso all the way up, raising your arms. Really stretch the front of your left hip, send your breath to that space, and then slowly bring your hands back down to frame your right foot. Come back through your plank and move through your Vinyasa. Coming through Chaturanga Dandasana, upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. Getting ready to come into the left low lunge, send your left heel up behind you, raising your left leg. Step it forward between your hands, making sure your knee is directly above your ankle. Drop your right knee down and untuck your right toe. Lift your arms up towards the ceiling and stretch that right hip. Slowly bring your hands down to frame your left foot, tuck your right toe, and once again move through your Vinyasa. On your next natural inhale, raise your heels all the way up and bend your knees. Look forward and step or jump your feet up to the front of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, sit your hips back into Utkatasana, reaching your hands up and forward. And take a deep exhale, coming up to standing into Tadasana, bring your arms down by your sides. Inhale, sit your hips back into another chair pose. And on your next exhale, slowly fold your torso over your bent legs, coming into a forward fold, straightening your legs. Inhale, look up halfway, straightening your spine. And exhale, bring your hands down to the floor, stepping back into a Chaturanga Dandasana, moving through your Vinyasa, upward facing dog, and then straight into your downward facing dog. Settle in your down dog for a moment, come back to your breath, and lift your left leg up behind you, stepping it forward into a high lunge, pressing into the floor with both of your feet and coming up with your torso. Raise your arms all the way up and settle into your lunge, keeping your knee above your ankle, stretching that right front hip. Set your hands down onto the floor, framing your left foot, step back into a plank and move through your Vinyasa. Getting ready to come into the other side, raise your right leg up behind you and step it forward into a high lunge, bringing your knee directly above your right ankle. Raise your arms up, reaching them up towards the ceiling, keeping your palms facing each other, settling into your high lunge. Slowly bring your hands down to frame your right foot and step it back into a plank, moving through your Vinyasa. Raise your heels, bend your knees, look forward, and step or jump your feet up into a forward fold Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, exhale, Uttanasana, and inhale, sit your hips back into another chair pose, reaching your hips back and your arms forward. Slowly press up into Tadasana, releasing your hands down by your sides. On your next inhale, rotate your upper arm bones out and raise them up towards the sky. Exhale, slowly fold your torso over into a forward fold. Inhale, looking up halfway. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, and move through your Vinyasa. On your next inhale, raise your left heel up behind you and step it forward into a lunge. Setting up for Warrior Two, align your left heel with your right arch and bring your arms out to the side, settling into your Warrior Two on the left side. Remain here, continue to breathe deeply in through your nose and then releasing it back out in the same way. Make sure that your knee is directly above your ankle. Coming into Reverse Warrior, reach your left arm forward, up and back, resting your right arm on your back leg. Make sure that you keep your left leg bending towards a 90-degree angle. Coming up with your torso, coming back through Warrior Two, straighten your knee, turn your toes parallel to one another, clasp your hands at the small of your back, and fold your torso over the opening between your legs, allowing your hands to drop down towards the floor and opening your shoulders. This just counteracts all of the Chaturanga Dandasanas we've been doing throughout the sequence. Press into the floor with both of your feet and slowly come up with your torso to standing. Coming straight into the right side, turn your right toes out and align your right heel with your left arch. Bend your knee and bring your arms out to the side, coming into Warrior Two on the right side. Reach your right arm forward, up and back, coming into Reverse Warrior, and rest your left arm on your left leg. Keep the bend in your right knee as you reach up and back with your right arm. And coming back through Warrior Two, straighten your right leg, turn your toes parallel to one another, clasp your hands behind you at the small of your back, and slowly fold your torso over in between your legs, allowing your hands to pull your shoulders and stretch your shoulder muscles. Press into the floor with your feet and allow your hands to pull you up to standing with a straight spine. Turn your left toes all the way out, come through your Warrior Two once again, and just spin your hands down towards the floor, move through your plank, and then move through your Vinyasa. Remain in your downward facing dog, continue to deepen your breath, and just come back to breathing deeply. Inhale through your nose, releasing out through your nose. Raise your left heel all the way up, lifting your leg up behind you. Step it forward between your hands and set your right heel down at a 45-degree angle, aligning your left heel with your right arch, coming into another Warrior Two. Preparing yourself to come into side angle pose. Reach your torso over your left leg and drop your hand down on the floor behind your left foot, reaching your top arm up and over on the diagonal. If you cannot reach the ground with your left arm, you can use a yoga block or some books, anything to elevate the ground and to keep your body safe during this pose. Take one more deep breath and then press into the floor with your feet, coming up with your torso at the same time. Circle your hands down, framing your foot, step back into a plank, and move through your Vinyasa. Coming into the other side, raise your right leg up and step it forward between your hands, setting it down, and then set your left heel down at a 45-degree angle, aligning your heel with your back arch. Unwind your hands, coming through Warrior Two, and rest here for just a moment. Coming into our side angle on the right side, set your right arm down on the outer edge of your right foot, and reach your left arm up and over on the diagonal. Once again, if you want to, you can use a yoga block or a book in order to elevate the ground if needed for your right hand. To come up through Warrior Two, press into the floor with your feet, coming back through your Warrior Two, and then circle your hands down to frame your foot, step back into a plank, and move through your Vinyasa. Settle into your down dog for a moment, come back to your breath, come back to your center. Coming into a modified child's pose, set your knees down onto the floor, touch your toes together, separate your knees about the width of your mat, and then relax your torso down, stretching your arms forward towards the front of your mat. This is a great stretch to release tension from your hips, and just breathe into that space, allowing your breath to soften your hip muscles, and just remain here for a few more deep breaths. Bring your torso up slightly and slide your left hand underneath your right, coming into a slight upper back twist. Just rest the left ear and the outer edge of your left arm on the ground and breathe into your back as it gently twists over. Coming into the other side, just switch hands and twist over to the left, bringing your right arm to the ground. You can even straighten your left arm out, reaching forward if you'd like. Come back to center with your torso and come up to your hands and knees, and then straighten your legs, coming into a downward facing dog. Raise your left heel up behind you, lifting your leg, and step it forward between your hands. Set your right heel down at a 45-degree angle and align your left heel with your right arch. Straightening your left leg, reach your torso over and come into a triangle pose, setting your hand in front of your left foot and reaching your right arm up towards the ceiling. Coming into half moon or Ardha Chandrasana, look down towards your left foot and bend your knee. Bring your left hand forward about 12 inches and lift your right leg up, reaching your heel back. Lift your right arm up towards the ceiling, and you can either look down towards the floor, you can look forward, or you can look up towards the sky, depending on your balance. Start out by looking down towards the floor, and if your balance allows you to, you can begin to bring your gaze upward. If you're having trouble balancing, you can engage your abdominal muscles and try focusing on one single spot in the room. Gently place your foot back down on the floor into triangle pose, and then press into the floor with your feet, coming up with your torso through Warrior Two. Then spin your hands down towards the floor to frame your foot and move through your Vinyasa. Raise your right leg up behind you and step it forward, coming into the other side. Set your left heel down at 45 degrees and align your right heel with your left arch, coming through Warrior Two. Then straightening your leg right away and coming into triangle pose by reaching your torso over your right leg and setting your hand down in front of your front foot, reaching your top arm up towards the ceiling, and take a few deep and full breaths here in triangle pose. Getting ready to come into our balance, bend your right knee and place your right hand forward of your right foot about 12 inches. Lift your left foot up and reach your heel back. Lift your left arm up towards the ceiling, and you can either bring your gaze towards the floor, towards the front, or upward towards the ceiling. You always have the option to rest your hand on a yoga block as well if you feel that this might be a bit too difficult or uncomfortable for you at first. To come out of Ardha Chandrasana, you can place your left foot gently back down into triangle pose, and then come straight through Warrior 2, and then circle your hands down towards the floor, come back into your plank, and move through your Vinyasa. Raise your heels all the way up, bend your knees, look forward, and bring your feet to the front. Come to a seated position. Stretch your legs out to the side, coming into Upavista Konasana. Flex your feet, point your toes up towards the ceiling, and then take a deep inhale and release it out as you fold your torso down in between your legs in the center. Just deepen your breath here, allow your hips to release as well as your inner thighs and your lower back. Just continue to keep your feet active and pointed upward as you breathe, and just stretch your lower back and the backs of your legs. Slowly walk your torso over to the right side, keeping your hips even. Just stretch your torso over, stretching the left side of your upper body as well. Open your shoulders towards the front and reach your upper arm up and over on the diagonal, stretching the left side of your body. Switching to the other side, first stretching up and over, stretching the right side of your body as you lean over your left leg. And now turn to face your left leg, stretching the lower back and the right side of your body. Walk your torso back to the center and stretch forward for one more breath as you slowly come back up to a seated position and bring your legs in towards each other. Take your right leg and cross it over the left, bending the left leg underneath your hip and bring your hips back to even. Take your left arm and wrap it around your right leg, twisting your upper body towards the right. As you inhale, lengthen up through your spine, and as you exhale, try and deepen your twist slightly without forcing anything too quickly. Slowly unwind your upper body from the twist and raise your arms up towards the ceiling, lengthening both sides of your body, and then gently release your hands back down by your side. Switch to the other side by bringing your left leg over your right and crossing your right leg underneath you. Wrap your right arm around your left leg and come into a twist towards the left, with each inhale finding length all the way up through the crown of your head. And with each exhale, try and deepen your twist a little bit further by looking even further back. Unwind from your twist and release your legs from the bend, bringing them straight out in front of you with your feet flexed, avoiding sitting on your tailbone. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, fold your torso over your straightened legs and relax them on your shins, your ankles, or your feet, depending on where you can reach. Just relax here, begin to deepen your breath. You also have the option of taking your index and your middle fingers and wrapping them around your big toes to help you pull your torso over your legs. Just be careful as to not pull anything too fast or too quickly. You can now slowly bring your torso back up and come to lying on your back, and hug your knees into your chest, flexing your feet, gently rolling from side to side, and relaxing out your back muscles. Drop both knees over to the left side of your body and twist your upper body over towards the right, bringing your right shoulder down towards the floor as much as you can, and just breathe here as you gently twist. Slowly bring your knees over through the center to the other side, twisting your knees over to the right and your upper body over towards the left, bringing your left shoulder down towards the floor and look over to the left. Continue to breathe as you gently twist your back. Slowly bring your knees back to center and come into a final Shavasana by stretching your legs out, separating them slightly apart, turning your palms up towards the ceiling, and closing your eyes. You can begin to come back to your breath, focusing on your inhales and exhales, and stay here for as long as you'd like.